Hey everybody, and welcome to an explosive wild ride with Steve-O. We've got Chris Pontius, and if you thought our first podcast with him was epic, this one is insane. And why am I sitting in front of a bunch of portraits of Elvis? Yeah, it's because I'm in Graceland right now on tour, and I'm kicking off a pretty serious leg. So if you're somewhere in America, you might want to check my tour schedule to see if I'm going your way. And I gotta say, I love everything about being on tour except for just one thing, man. I don't have my bidet from HelloTushy.com. Why is it so important to me? And why do I name Hello Tushy as my favorite sponsor of this podcast? Because I'm telling you, if you've never used a bidet, it will change your life. It changed my life. I'm telling you, and that was with their basic standard bidet. Now they've got this new device called the Tushy Ace. It's a whole toilet seat to replace your toilet seat, and at the push of a button it warms up. It prepares your water to the temperature that you prefer as soon as you sit on it. Like, you push the button on a remote control that just sticks to your wall with a magnet by the toilet. You push the button and it just starts power cleaning your butthole with this refreshing blast of water. I'm in love with it, and when I'm on the road, I miss it real bad. But you don't have to miss it ever. And you can get 10% off your order at HelloTushy.com/Steve-O. That's right, you gotta use /Steve-O after HelloTushy.com for 10% off your order. And like I said, it's going to change your life. I swear by it, I love it, and I feel like just lost without it. But hey man, I'm on a rock tour, and I'm in the home of the king of rock and roll, so I'm gonna deal with it, but you don't have to. Now, let's get into it. All right, dude. So we'll dive right in.
Yeah, enough of this shop talk. How am I good like this? You're with the mic? Rad. Yeah. So
here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the return of Chris Pontius.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, dude.
It's great to be in your van.
Dude, I fucking wanted to make sure I was professional and that we didn't retread over the same subject matter that we did on your first podcast.
I know.
So I watched the whole first one, and I was totally impressed by it.
Yeah, it's good. Like,
it's really fucking good.
We talked about a lot of things I don't think were ever covered in interviews before, like, which it's rad. Like, it really is good.
Yeah, we set the bar.
Yeah, it is. It was really good.
We set the bar impossibly fucking high.
Yeah, it's impossibly high. So
I mean, oh my God, we're gonna have to really drop the hammer. We're gonna have to really drop the hammer.
Yeah, we
have to dig deep.
Yeah.
God.
So this is your first time in this van. Last time was on Zoom.
Yes, my first time performing. I had a big COVID beard, as they called them at the time. I've trimmed myself up today.
I mean, dude.
Did you grow a big beard during that period?
I did not.
I've never seen you with a beard.
I grew an afro, but I kept shaving.
I only seen you with a mustache at one point in time.
Yeah, you ever have a beard, Steve?
I never have had a beard. Maybe I had a little bit of a goatee.
You did have a goatee before.
I had a little goatee that I grew while I was in a psychiatric ward for 3 weeks.
You know what I made you look even crazier. He's in the ward, like a crazy person.
The doctors see the goatee, they're like, oh, he's not getting better, that's for sure.
I have a psychiatric ward. I know we both dabbled in some, crazy behavior. And like ended up in psychiatric centers, even briefly. Did you ever deal with like a mean like Nurse Ratched type orderly? Because I have.
I don't remember that, but I do remember it being pretty scary. And there were certain people in one of the psych wards I was in who were like just trapped and couldn't get out.
Yeah.
What?
Like they'd been there for a long time.
How do you not get out?
Well, because like you're there for a psychiatric evaluation is what a 5150 is.
Yeah.
And you're constantly being evaluated. So if like the staff of the psychiatric ward evaluate you and deem you unfit to be released, they just fucking keep you, dude.
You're at their mercy.
Were you worried that you were never going to get out? Or
I was never particularly worried about not getting out, but I was stuck in there for 3 weeks, you know, like the one time, and
how many
it was
evaluations
my own
is that?
psychiatrist wouldn't let me out.
How often are you evaluated?
I mean, I think it's sort of an ongoing thing. It's pretty
Yeah.
damn often.
Right.
But yeah, there were people who were freaking the fuck out in my first psych ward.
Alan Watts was talking about a study they did in the university back in the day where like they had a bunch of college students check themselves in to a psych ward and then try to get out. And then when they got in there, they're like, no, this is a school project. You don't understand. Like, we're trying to get out. And they're like, sorry, you're in.
There's some like sadistic people in some like
People smearing shit all over the walls.
no, there's
and,
some
like,
people that work there too. Like are just. I'm not saying everyone, but there's some sadistic people that like. I think they like.
It's a power thing.
The power thing. Like what I noticed one night in Miami. You weren't there, Scott. Fortunately, me and Steve were out on the town.
Yeah, this is a story that we told.
Oh, we did.
We told that story fully on the first
When
one.
you
we did, okay.
woke up on
But
top
if
of your
people
car.
didn't see it, you guys partied hard in Miami.
Yeah, when I woke up on the car
Yeah.
naked. But so when I was in whatever version of the hospital, like the psych ward of the hospital, there was this one like orderly that was like, I was like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go to my hotel. I have to present at the Latin Music Awards. And he's like, you're getting a little too excited. I think someone needs a Valium. And I was like, no, just take me back to my hotel. And I'm like,
Yeah.
God, it was horrible. Like he was a freak, and the policeman had to like break it up.
You're like, okay, I'll take a
Damn.
Valium, but I really got to get out of here.
No, I was over
How much for
Valium
the
at that
Valium?
point. That's what got me there.
Right.
Oh
Well,
my
it was
God.
more of a mixture of
It was a
cocaine
mixture.
and.
It was. I mixed. Yeah. I didn't get my.
Did
But
you
yeah,
get the jab in the butt?
No.
the booty juice.
You got the
I
booty
got.
juice?
I got
I got
pepper
the-
sprayed.
Yeah.
God, and it hurt. That's what I always ask Knoxville. What hurt most of the
Yeah,
self-defense test?
he's
And
always
like-
said.
He always says pepper spray, and
Yeah.
I've never been shot by a gun, thank God, but pepper spray is horrible. Like
It's
Yeah.
so gnarly.
it's so gnarly.
After I got pepper sprayed, I told every girl, like, your little taser thing, like, throw that away. It does nothing.
That's what I tell.
Pepper spray.
I know, and I give girls that I know like pepper spray. In South Africa, I gave everyone pepper spray. And I was like,
Yeah.
carry this with you, and then they go out for a walk, not bring the pepper spray, get mugged, and like, why didn't you have that? I told you. You
Yep.
practiced it, like, because seriously, it should give you so much confidence. Like,
Yeah.
the good stuff.
You're just
Like-
shut down with pepper
So
spray.
funny how like at any time when we had security, I always got in more trouble because we had security.
Oh, yeah.
Like it would give me this sense of confidence. Like when we filmed Jackass #2 in New Orleans, and we had like armed security with us.
Right.
And I was responsible for riling up some folks who ended up like really badly assaulting Jeff Tremaine.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Why-
shoved him.
I shoved him. Yeah, I think
shoved
we
the guy.
probably told that story on the train.
Why would you
podcast.
have security? Like what?
It was post Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans, and like crime was just going crazy, and like everything was in pretty unstable shape.
I think they just made like all productions have security, and I wasn't there when you initially pushed the guy, but yeah, so you pushed. These guys came. They were from a group of people in New Orleans that I
they
think
had some beef with Bam or something.
apparently with CKY. Apparently they'd
Yeah.
gotten into a fight at the House of Blues during a CKY show, and so they heard the Jackass guys are at this hotel. So these guys like show up that would never be in this lounge, and they go. I guess I wasn't
Yeah, the
downstairs
guy
when
goes
it
up to
happened.
Knoxville. He says, "Hey, why don't you buy me a drink? You're rich. Fucking buy me a drink." And Knoxville says, "I did. I got you a White Russian, but I might have cummed in it." And then I go up and fucking shove the dude across the whole bar into the arms of our security dude, who drags him out. And that kind of riled him up a little bit.
That'll do it.
Later on, some of the guys were at a bar, and I was with him, and I went to go get a sandwich, and then Shauna calls me and was like, "Jeff got a bike lock like smashed over his head."
That
and
wouldn't happen if Pontius was there.
Uh-uh.
No, I would have. You know what? I would have stopped it from happening. You know,
Yeah.
kept it cool.
You would
Like,
have disarmed him?
I would have disarmed him.
You would have submitted him?
Submit him. Maybe a little late. Maybe a little late.
Yep.
After he tapped, I'd let it go a little
Or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, dude. So you've moved from the heart of Hollywood
I moved out to the valley.
to the valley.
Yeah, I got out of there. I was over it. But yeah, so I'm stoked out here.
Now, you had that house that you moved out of for fucking damn near 20 years.
Yeah. So yeah, I bought it like God before even Wild Boyz.
I remember. Well, no, you were buying it when Jackass the movie came out.
That's right.
Because I remember at the time when Jackass the movie came out in 2002, I was like, Chris, we're like hot shit right now. We got a movie out. You got to fucking tour the world. We got to fucking. And you were like, oh, well, I'm like trying to like do all this stuff with my new house. I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? Like right now, like tour the world and make tons of money, buy a bigger house.
Yeah, so I got that house, and that was around. I think it was around when I was doing that Charlie's Angels thing. So
right.
I briefly, when you see that, I got hired like to work for a week on Charlie's Angels,
the movie,
Full Throttle.
I mean, dude, 1 week and it turned into like
months. And so I just would sit there with all like the stuntmen, and we just get paid for doing nothing. They couldn't get their act together for all like the action scenes, so I just sit there and play guitar. Everyone was just getting paid double overtime every day, and it was the best deal ever. It was fun. Like everyone was really cool, and so yeah, I saved up a lot of money.
But you were in Charlie's Angels?
Charlie's Angels Full Throttle.
Full Throttle. So that's like a sequel. Okay.
Yeah, like
you were a stuntman for the women.
I was.
You were Lucy
Liu.
Liu.
Yeah, no, but I was basically in all these fight scenes with the stuntmen. So, and I was supposed to be like some sort of mobster.
Gotcha.
How did you get that role? Because
I don't know why. Like they just called me to come be in it. They're like, oh, we got a job for you. I tried out for like a different part like that actually got cut from the movie, and then they called me, so that I never got that role, and then they called me back and said if I wanted to work for a week or two, and then it turned out to be months. And so like they had like the stunt team from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon there, and all these crazy ropes and all this setup, and it just like they couldn't like, I don't know, it was weird, like they couldn't get it organized quick enough, and the studio kept changing the script, and so we just would sit there like, and they'd be like, we might film, and then it would go to double overtime every day.
Wow.
And so what, you were sitting around with the stuntmen and they got you jazzed on the idea of buying a house?
No, that job helped me buy that house.
Oh, gotcha. I mean, like, you certainly had it in 2002, and I think that was a reasonably good time to buy a house, right?
Yeah, like at the time, everyone was like, oh, like, it's stuff's so high, and then like a few months after I bought it, stuff just jacked up. And then now, like, when I sold it, I earned a lot of money on it, and then
I bet.
And then when I bought this house, like a few months after I bought that, everything went crazy again. Like, so, yeah.
Timing.
So you're doing quite well with the real estate.
I'm doing all right with the real estate.
Yeah,
it's a sound investment.
Wee Man bought a house in like right in like Marina Del Rey, like on the boardwalk,
Hermosa.
Hermosa, like Hermosa Beach, like right on the beach. It's a beautiful fucking house, and like that was like 2009, I think, and then he sold it not that long ago for over double what he bought it for.
Yeah,
amazing.
It's crazy. You probably made way more than double on yours.
Yeah.
The Nichols Canyon.
That was a beautiful
at least
place.
Triple. It was rad.
Did you ever have water going through the creek there?
Oh yeah, most of the time it would go through until like this like multi-year drought happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, it at least tripled. Like,
who are your famous neighbors there?
Ooh, Pontius is definitely gonna talk about some famous people right now, and it's definitely gonna be exciting. And you know what really gets me excited? Having a huge boner. Yeah, I said it. And you know what makes me get a huge boner? Blue Chew tablets. Why? Because they have the same active ingredient as both Viagra and Cialis, except they only cost a fraction of the price, and they're delicious. Man, I'm telling you, if you ever thought it might be fun to take a Blue Chew tablet and then go to town with a huge boner, well, your instincts were right, because it's a lot of fun. And man, does my girl Lux love it when I creep up to her and stick out my tongue and she can see the blue on there. She goes, oh, she just screams, and then I take her to Pound Town, baby. Yeah, and now you might be thinking, whoa, but don't I need a prescription to get Blue Chew tablets? And yeah, you do. But the good news is you don't have to go to some awkward in-person visit to the doctor, because right at BlueChew.com you can consult with one of their medical providers, and it is fast, it is easy, it is simple, and the Blue Chew tablets are on their way to you. Plus, here's the kicker. I can get you an entire month's supply of Blue Chew tablets completely for free if you just use the promo code STEVO at BlueChew.com. Yeah, dude, all you have to pay is $5 for shipping. You go to BlueChew.com, you use the promo code STEVO for an entire month's supply of Blue Chew tablets. You only pay $5 for shipping. Probably the greatest deal that we've ever had on this podcast, so jump on it. And now, let's get excited.
Henry Rollins lived down the street. And
Wow.
yeah, the crazy thing was, it wasn't like, Steve, I don't know, did you have a beef with Henry?
I didn't have a beef with him, but we had this woman, this young lass, who, I mean, there's no polite way to say it. She had been passed around the Jackass cast, and Pontius and I even shared her at one time. You know, we had
At the same time.
At the same time.
Was that the vagina eating
was-
contest?
It was a New Year's Day. It was January 1st of 2002.
Okay.
Like, the Jackass offices were just opening, but we had not started filming Jackass, the first movie, yet. And New Year's Day, we had done like every drug in the book the night before, mushrooms and coke and ecstasy, like cocaine. I mean, dude, it was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
This was a party with like the whole cast, like New
There
Year's
was a
Eve?
party, but we ended up back in my apartment with this young lass.
For your own party.
Yeah, for our own party, and the sun was up. I had a pull-out sofa. We were on the pull-out sofa in the living room.
Wow.
And this remarkable occurrence happened, where we both emitted, and we were on so many drugs. We were on so many drugs. It was like it happened in slow motion. I saw our semen flying through the air, both of our semens, and it landed on this woman at the exact same time. Coming from like different, coming from, and that was when she said, "I wish I had two mouths," because that would have saved her from turning her head back and forth.
Oh my God.
Saved her neck.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But
wow.
this woman in particular, this lady I speak of,
Yes.
had identified Henry Rollins as a love interest. Apparently,
Was she in town visiting him?
apparently, like, she would make trips to spend time with him.
Okay.
And so I just thought that was like so fascinating, and I would try to press her for information about.
We're both huge Rollins fans.
Yeah, we
Huge
love
Black Flag
Rollins.
fans.
We love Rollins.
You're saying this night you tried to, or like you,
Well, no,
you would
just
see
in
her
general.
over
That's
and
why
over?
she was in
General.
town.
In general.
Yeah, I think
see.
it might have been why she's in town was to visit him, but
Right,
I don't
right.
know. I can't say for sure. But I was like, I remember pressing her for information. I was like, so when you're making love with Henry Rollins, he grunts, right? I know he does. Come on, tell me he grunts.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I can't even confirm that they even had a relationship, but I just like
The idea is cool.
The idea went like I went crazy with it.
Okay.
And I went on the Howard Stern show with that young lady.
Okay.
And she was doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I remember, like,
Immediately took her shirt off, didn't she?
yeah, immediately took her shirt off, and she was rolling she rolled a pool ball out of her boobs, like onto a light bulb on my head, breaking the light bulb, like really high level stuff.
Yeah.
And I told Howard Stern all about my ideas of what I thought her relationship with Mr. Rollins might have been like.
Wow.
So I just assumed that Mr. Rollins was none too pleased with me.
Right.
But later he said he never even heard about any of it.
Which, do you believe that?
I don't believe it.
Yeah, I
Who
mean,
knows?
Well, to complete the story for people, because I've heard you tell this story before, when they did the tattoo, the off-road
right, the
tattoo
off-road
on
tattoo, they told me it was going to be Nikki Sixx
Right.
driving this Hummer. And I was like snorting cocaine off a picture of me and Nikki Sixx like waiting for my hero Nicky Six to show up, like as if he was going to be really impressed that I was snorting cocaine off a picture of him.
Because he was sober.
Right, I think he was sober at that time.
You were doing this at the job site, waiting
I
for
was
him to come?
I was doing it on
So
set.
stoked.
On
He's like a
the
little
set.
boy, so excited to meet his
Just
hero
doing
again.
coke.
I was blatant, dude. I was out in the open doing cocaine for the entire fucking first movie. The only scenes that I was not on cocaine for that whole first movie were the ones we filmed in Japan because I couldn't find cocaine in Japan. But
Whoa.
so yeah, I'm just snorting coke, and they say, okay, dude, this SUV pulls up. They say, okay, Steve-O, your fucking hero, Nicky Six, has arrived. Go up and fucking go greet him.
Did they
And
know
I
it
go-
wasn't him? They're just.
and
We all knew.
I go up to the SUV and fucking Henry Rollins gets out, and I thought, oh my god, this is a big thing. He's gonna kick my ass because he hates me. But he was nice as could be.
Yeah, super nice. It
was
was
so-
awkward though.
He was sober too.
He's always been sober, I think.
Yeah.
He's like a
He's like
straight
straight
edge
edge?
guy. Yeah.
Pretty
You were
much,
just
yeah.
like,
Well, wait, Chris, you guys knew. So was the prank just like, oh, it's not Nicky Six, or were
we
you
all knew.
expecting
Yeah, we were
Henry
like,
Rollins?
oh god, he's gonna be so freaked out when,
have
when
another
Rollins
line,
shows
Steve.
up.
So you
And,
knew
yeah,
he'd
we
be
were so
scared.
excited. Yeah, because
Hey, you were there for that?
yeah, oh yeah.
Did
And
you think Henry Rollins was going to beat him up, or was that your hope? Or
I just thought
it'll be funny.
I didn't know. I don't know what was gonna. I didn't want him to get beaten up.
Sure.
If he did, like, if something really happened,
I mean, if it went too far, Chris would have.
I would have stepped in and defended him. I always have in the
Superman
past. even when he might have started it.
Ride or die.
But
Chris
like-
Pine.
But it was just awkward, kind of. But then Henry was rad. But then you know what I did?
Henry Rollins was the fucking coolest.
You know what I did though? Like the second night, I actually, like the day after I moved into my house, I had some friends over, some girls that I was friends with, and I was like, Henry Rollins lives down the street, and they're like, oh my god, I want to go serenade him. And this was like after we were home from the bar, like super late at night, and so we walked down the street with one of them's got an acoustic guitar, and she starts singing "Every Rose Has Its Thorn" like to his front door, like so loud, and I just moved in. And then we run off, laughing, and then like the next night I'm just walking down the hill, and he happens to be like out front cleaning his garage, and so I run into him. Stupidly, I introduced myself from Jackass, and he's like, he had to have known it was me, and he's like, are you a PA? I'm like, no, I'm one of the Jackass guys, and I moved up the street, and it was pretty obvious that I was probably like involved in that serenade, but he didn't mention it, and then years later, like Rollins had Knoxville on his show.
Oh yeah, what show?
I think it was called the Henry Rollins Show. It was on.
He had a podcast?
No, it was on.
Oh, like a talk show.
Sirius XM.
It was on a channel. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't a very good talk show though, to be honest with you, because it seemed like maybe he might have talked too much.
There's no shows like that.
So it sounds like a podcast.
But Knoxville brought up that I lived up the street from him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I was serenaded once or something like that," and that's all he said. But
So he pretends to not know. He
other
probably
than
knew
that,
about your Howard Stern
I never
shit.
really talked to Rollins. I don't know, 15 years he probably lived by me. He moved before I did. One time, a bum set a fire across the street from his house. Accidentally, like their camp caught on fire, and everyone like ran down to watch the fire, and he was there, but he didn't talk to me. Like he was really to himself. Every once in a while, you'd see a young lady like that. You could tell he was briefly dating, like in front of his house. But other than that, like it didn't seem like he had company over very often.
Yeah.
But
You guys have met probably a lot of your heroes, like in your line of work. Like who's just been the coolest?
The coolest?
Yeah.
Brad Pitt was cool.
Brad Pitt was super cool.
He did, yeah. Brad Pitt was super cool.
Leonardo DiCaprio was super cool.
I've never met him, I don't think.
He's really into animals, and he came up to me. I guess I didn't tell this story. So I was at some event, and he came up to me, and I didn't know it was him. And he asked me about like Wild Boyz. He's like, "You're from Wild Boyz," and I talked to him for like an hour about like all this animal stuff and all that. And I was like, "Oh, that guy was real cool." And then later on in the night, like I saw him like going on his way home, and he was with some gnarly model girl. I was like, "Whoa, that dude has a gnarly girlfriend."
You didn't know
And
it was Leonardo
probably
DiCaprio?
like Giselle or something like. Yeah, I didn't. And then the next day, my friend's like, "Yeah, when you were talking to Leo last night," and I was like, "That was Leonardo DiCaprio?" I was like, "Whoa, I had no idea."
Wow.
Like I'm not very good at knowing if people are stars. Like, but he was super cool.
What was Brad Pitt like?
He was rad.
So fucking cool.
What year
dude.
was this?
Dude, it was 2001.
Yeah, that was
When we
2001.
Like
met.
Legends of the Fall shit, like around that time.
Yeah, 2001, and Spike Jonze was buddies with Brad Pitt, and so they were like hanging out, and Brad was like, "Dude, I want to be on Jackass." And like, really? And like, huh? And so Spike set it up, and there was like a TV office that we had, and Brad Pitt's just
hanging out.
Just hanging out. I remember like I bummed a cigarette off of him. Like he gave me a cigarette.
It's crazy he smokes.
I was so surprised he smoked.
And
Yeah.
in that movie 12 Monkeys, to get his character, he said he stopped smoking cigarettes to just get really fucking antsy and fidgety
Really?
Oh,
and
wow.
act like he was in a mental ward.
God, yeah, he
I
was
remem-
super cool. Like,
And you
I
filmed a
remember,
couple. Yeah, go ahead.
Like he gave me a cigarette, and right in that same sort of moment, I had my skateboard, and I went to go do this super difficult like fast plant finger flip trick, and I pulled it off.
In front of Brad.
In front of Brad Pitt. I did my most difficult trick, and I pulled it first time. And I was just like, I remember like the first thing he said to me too. He was like, "Hey, how long did it take for your eyebrows to grow back when they waxed them off?"
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
rad.
He's a fan.
Yeah, it's super cool, dude.
Yeah,
you-
so cool.
You guys you like kidnapped him for the show, and you did the monkey thing, right? Was that all you guys did?
We did two bits. One was we put him in line at Pink's, which is this hot dog stand that just always has the craziest line, and kidnapped him.
So funny.
Which the cops, we called the cops ahead of time, set it up with the police.
Okayed it with them, right?
Yeah, we instead disregard. They knew to disregard calls about Brad Pitt being kidnapped.
People were trying to save Brad, freaking out. Like, this one dude was like pulling back really hard.
Right.
And there, Ryan Kingman was there filming with it, and it was
Bam was so pissed about the monkey suit thing. And he made a good point. He's like, you have Brad fucking Pitt. Why on earth are you going to put put him in a monkey suit and cover his face?
Yeah,
Like, it could
is a
be
good
anybody.
point.
I got it. I know. I thought he had a good point.
Why
but
did they do
the
that?
punchline was though at the credits when it's like it said like people.
Well,
it was
yeah,
like,
the monkey
there was like
get-
Brad Pitt in the monkey thing, and then he takes the mask off, and it is Brad Pitt.
Oh, so when you first see his name, you're like, oh, that's obviously not Brad Pitt.
I think
but
that's
then
what
he
the
reveals
idea
it.
of it.
It was a bad idea.
So people were trying to save a monkey, not Brad Pitt.
No,
well,
when
no,
they
no,
kidnapped
no,
Brad
separate
Pitt.
bit.
The night monkey bit.
Yeah.
It was an extension of this bit that I did before that, where I just ran around town like causing trouble just as a monkey, and I swung on this flagpole. Remember that? There's
I
a
do.
flagpole. I swung over traffic. That was from this thing that Nadas did in Transworld, like where he was swinging over like a car. Do you remember that picture?
I remember a lot of Nadas. I don't remember.
But I guess Spike took that picture, and he knew where this flagpole was.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
It was
wow.
amazing. But I'm fascinated with like different celebrities and like asking people who the meanest one and who the coolest one was. I can tell you who the meanest one I ever met was.
Uh-oh.
Her name is Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, shit.
And it's crazy that all this stuff's come out like about Ellen being mean. Because when I met her, I thought she was really mean.
Where'd you meet her?
I met her at the VH1 Big in 04 or Big in 05 Awards, and it was when her show was like, I guess she was the big thing at the time, and all the like
Her sitcom or her Ellen show?
the Ellen show or the one where she like in her her talk show.
The talk show.
So
yeah.
she was there, and I guess I was in the green room, and there wasn't that many people in the green room, so everyone like got to talking pretty good, and like someone like warned her that like one of the toilets was broken because it was like these kind of like those fancy outdoor toilets, and she was like just gave a really rude response, and then she was just smoking cigarettes like in her
Ellen
assistant
was
like,
smoking cigarettes?
yeah, I was so surprised
Wow.
she was smoking. And she's like, so what do I got to do? Like, and she's just pissed to be there. And then she comes out on stage and she's like all like funny, nice Ellen, like the person that they think she is.
Wow.
So I talked to her, and she had no interest in talking to me at all. She I don't know, she seemed to hate me, but then she seemed just to hate everyone. So I wasn't surprised when everyone came forward saying that Ellen is a tyrant.
Yep.
Well, what about working with Britney Spears? Did you both you?
Britney,
Spears
she was perfectly
She
sweet.
was cool.
She was cool as
Super
fuck.
nice.
She was
yeah.
perfectly sweet, and if anything, she was just. I felt Britney Spears was insulated by people trying to keep you away from her. But like if you could get to her,
She was down
She
to
was
earth.
just
She was really
couldn't
nice.
have been
Yeah, super
sweeter.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because remember there was a helicopter flying above just because they knew that Britney Spears was out there filming.
Really?
Paparazzi in the helicopter.
Yeah,
That's
Oh,
next
wow.
level.
that is next level.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially like, what does it cost to get a helicopter up in the air? You know, it's
It's
not
insane.
a drone.
Yeah.
It's a fucking
And then,
Well, I can tell you what
Yeah,
it
we
costs
know
to
what
get
yeah, wow.
to maybe get a photo. It's a huge
And
investment.
what about working with Kim Kardashian?
She was cool as hell.
I heard
Yeah.
she was nice.
Yeah, she's super laid back. Like, you know, I met Kim Kardashian a bunch of times.
Yeah, I've always heard she was really nice.
Yeah.
Who have you met that wasn't so nice?
Lindsay Lohan.
No, Lindsay Lohan was always super sweet to me. I partied with her a lot.
Okay.
I remember hearing some of those party stories.
Yeah, Lindsay Lohan. I partied with her a lot. One time she came over to my apartment and immediately locked herself up in the bathroom, with one of her friends. And then it turned out that she had left her wallet in my bathroom at my apartment. So she reached out to try to get her wallet back. Now, meanwhile, while she was at my apartment, I pulled out a video camera on her and just filmed some stuff that made her pretty uncomfortable. And then the next day, she's like, "Hey, I left my wallet. Can you bring it to me?" And I fucking brought her back her wallet and made her sign a release form for the footage. I traded her. I was like,
Wow.
yeah, here's your wallet, but can you just sign this?
Because you were going to use it in one of your own videos.
Yeah, I wanted to use it in one of my own videos. It wasn't anything like that bad.
No, it's
It wasn't
nothing.
anything that bad, but it just also was I just stuck a camera in her
Sure.
face, and it was super aggressive.
I've seen the footage. I think at the time it's she was like a paparazzi, you know.
Right.
It was when she was on
preyed
fire.
upon. Yeah. So
Yeah.
any her partying, for you to pull out a camera, this is the last thing I want to see.
Yeah,
I
you
think
told me
that's when
that-
she started hiding in the bathroom.
yeah.
After you pulled out the camera.
Because of you.
Yeah. And then you're like, Lindsay, I want to show you a trick with this knife on my nose or something like
Yeah,
that.
that
And she
checks
just
out.
refused to come out.
Yeah.
You told me a story about partying with her in New York and her having 2 SUVs and bodyguards and muscling people out of the bathroom so you can.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that.
I don't know if these are private stories.
Maybe, yeah, just
Yeah,
leave it
maybe we
at
should
that.
avoid those.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I'm not gonna.
Well, here, I'll say this. There was, at some point, I feel like it was in the news that she had, a list of... There was something that got, leaked, and it came out, and it was, in her handwriting, and it was, she had written a list of, famous men that she had been in bed with.
Yeah.
And, she had mentioned some of that
I
stuff.
remember you telling me about asking her about them and who was the best and who had the smallest wiener.
She did critique.
Yeah.
Is there a best we can get or any sort of...
I remember. Yeah, I remember it was.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But wait, for Chris's question, who was the least cool celebrity you met?
Oh boy, we're about to say some not very nice things about a bunch of celebrities, and I don't even feel bad about it. But you know what I do feel really bad about is the awful garbage I have been putting in my body. My diet has gone to absolute hell. Here at Graceland, they've got this rock and roll cafe where I ate fried cheese. That was my best option. Mozzarella sticks, and oh dude, it's so bad. But the one thing saving me is Athletic Greens, baby. It's just right here. Comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition. You know what that means? This gives me all of the nutrition I need. It's saving me from my terrible diet on tour. Okay? It's got 75 different vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics. It helps gut health. It helps digestion. It helps with brain work. I mean, it really helps me think better. I'm telling you, I love it. I swear by it. I use it every day, and it is saving me from myself. And if you go to athleticgreens.com/Stevo, you'll get an entire year's supply of immune-boosting vitamin D, plus 5 of these comprehensive daily nutrition packets completely for free
with your first purchase. So get on over to athleticgreens.com/Stevo and get healthy. Yeah, dude. Now, let's talk crap about celebrities. For me, the least cool...
And not because you were being like annoying or...
Right.
So I'll take all those out.
Oh, well, then everyone was pretty cool.
Yeah, who was the guy that you got into
Unprompted.
Vegas? Mike Ness, and
Yeah, he was like, he wasn't uncool at all. I mean, dude, like, I'm always annoying, or at least I was really annoying. And I remember Kid Rock was with Pamela Anderson in, like, again, it was like 2001. And I was like, yo, dude, oh, man, let me show you this trick. Oh, man, I'll show you this trick. And I'm, like, balancing the cup, and I'm trying to lay down. And, like, he just fucking kicked me. He just straight kicked me and knocked the cup off my head, ruined my trick.
I remember, like, it might have been at this party, like, we went to, like, it was, like, Stuff Magazine or one of those men's magazines.
Yeah.
And then after it, we went to, like, the after party, and, like, I remember seeing Kid Rock with his chick. I thought it was like this gnarly, like, stripper-looking girl. And once again, I didn't recognize the star. It was Pamela Anderson.
Yeah.
But I was blown away by how, like...
That was actually where there was a Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah.
Fucking Stuff Magazine party. That was where Kid Rock kicked me.
Yeah.
In the middle of my trick. In the middle of my trick.
what you do? You would just go up to people and be like, "Let me show you a trick."
this out.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio, can I show you a trick?
That's what he did to everyone, not even celebrities, though, when we first met him.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I remember, like...
What was your go-to trick?
Though I balanced the cup on my head and
Why?
drank it without touching with my
Why
hands.
would you want to show people that? Just
You
Yeah,
know
I don't know,
what?
but dude, I remember like, a lot of people were not fucking stoked on it. I remember Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction. He was in the middle, it was way before even Jackass. And in like a crowded nightclub, and he's trying to just navigate his way through the crowd. And I'm like, yeah, dude, let me show you a trick. He hated it. And
they would watch the whole trick and be like,
right.
"Cool."
And Prince was super a jerk to me. I remember I was like, oh, Prince, dude, let me show you a trick. And so I'm doing my trick, and I had this model girlfriend, and he turns to my model girlfriend. He's like, "Does this impress you?" Like he said it in a real condescending dick way.
And you were famous by this time already.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And my model girlfriend said, "Yeah, it's actually pretty impressive. You should check it out." Or something. And he was just.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah,
cool.
but Chris makes a very good point that like I definitely inspired a lot of people to be jerks to me.
Perhaps. You set them up.
But I remember one of the first or second nights we ever hung out, like we were at the hotel that we were staying at in Miami for Jackass, and we were climbing on like the balcony or something, and the security guard like rolls up on a golf cart, and he's like, "Hey, you guys got to get down," and you're like, "Dude, it's cool," and you like jump down, and you did a press to handstand for him to like show that it was cool. Like, and I was like, he's like, "Yeah, you did that for me before at a bar, and I bought you drinks."
You know what?
I think the word might be incorrigible.
For sure. Well, we
That's
talked
cute.
about when your sister was on the show. We talked about how when your parents would have guests over, they would make you and Cindy come perform tricks for them, like perform for
Yeah,
them.
that's
Do
true.
you think that like
It's
led
possible.
to you when you meet
Clearly.
someone, you want to show them a trick? That's
Right.
like your go-to instinct.
It's,
And I think it could be from that.
it very well could be. That's insightful.
I was thinking that when I was editing it, I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
maybe that's where it comes from.
That's-
Let me swim 100 laps for $1 for you.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like a new person, like a new friend. Like, let me show you a trick. Like, let me
Right.
perform.
Yeah.
One of my
That's heavy, dude.
Yeah, I mean, dude, and let me say too, like, having watched our first episode, like, I fucking am so grateful for you, dude. I mean, I just fucking love you so much, man. And particularly as we reflect on what an annoying douche I've been over the years, like, your unwavering love and support of me.
I
It's
love
just-
you too, and I didn't think you were you were annoying. I think, but yeah, when I said that, like it was maybe the celebrities might have taken you as aggressive,
I can be a lot to handle.
overly friendly.
Yeah, my problem is too that when like the more a person excites me, the more amplified my approach to them is.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like people stutter when it's most important for them to not stutter.
Right.
Like I'm
You
the
get more
biggest
articulate.
I'm the biggest douche when it should be important to me to not be a douche.
Right.
No, but you're like when we have somebody on the podcast that you really want to have on, like you're really like articulate. You know, I'm sure the drugs and alcohol didn't help at all the case, but like when you have somebody here, like you're not overzealous or anything like that. Like you just. It takes you a little bit longer to get to the point, but like you don't go crazy.
No, yeah, you're not so much this way now. The way that
I've
we're
come
describing.
a long way.
I've never known you like that since I've known you. You know.
Oh yeah, that you were just excited. You were just happy to be there.
Yeah.
You know the people, and at least you were nice. You know the worst people are the people, not the big celebrities like Brad Pitt or Leonardo DiCaprio. It's always those fly-by-night celebrities that like are like big one day and then gone the next, that think they're like the biggest deal in town. Like those are the ones. Like The Situation. That guy, wasn't he rude to you?
He was a jerk to me.
The Situation.
Yep.
Yeah.
What
He
happened?
didn't like your trick.
It was on the
Was it in MTV Awards?
the MTV VMAs, or no, sorry, it was the MTV Music Award, MTV Movie Awards, and we were there to promote Jackass 3D, and like I went up to The Situation on the red carpet. And
You were sober.
I was sober.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I went up to The Situation, and he cool guyed me. I forget
He
what.
was just too cool though. He snubbed you.
He was too cool. He snubbed me.
You were like,
I
hey,
think
dude,
I might
like,
have been barging into his interview and interrupting.
And I was making fun of
newly
him.
sober.
I haven't seen anything of that guy since that comedy special. Like you were on.
No, I wasn't
You
on.
weren't on that one.
I wasn't on the one, but he was on the
What, the roast?
That
roast.
He was on a
roasted
roast.
Trump, didn't he? Roast Trump?
He perhaps it was pretty gnarly.
It was bad.
It was pretty gnarly bomb, and certainly.
He really bombed.
How were
But
all the?
I'm not trying to beat up on him too much. You know, I think
How were all the stars when you did the celebrity roast? Were they all? I mean, pretty
they
cool.
were cool. They were super cool.
The clip of Amy Schumer saying that Ryan Dunn joke kind of went viral when it was like
Right.
Chris Rock's
I
joke.
mean, let's be clear that Amy Schumer was not saying anything disparaging of Ryan Dunn.
Sure.
The thing was that she, you know, there was nothing like wrong about what she said. Oh, your friend died, and you know that's so sad. But like I was along with everybody else thinking, man, why couldn't it have been Steve-O?
Right.
You know, so it's like. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
Like,
she
I think she caught a lot of grief for that. That I don't think that.
Well, I'm not saying we should pile onto her. I just saw it go viral recently.
I actually, you know, myself, I got carried away in all of the grief that was being thrown at her, and I at one point reached out to, you know, to just try to say, hey, like I'm not proud of how I handled this situation. I was a jerk and I contributed to it, and we made everything really nice. And now whenever I see Amy Schumer getting grief for that to this day, it just I don't like it. Like I don't think she deserves it, and it bothers me.
Good.
Do you guys have any cool Ryan Dunn stories? Partying together or anything like that?
Think of something in particular.
Can we get you to squeeze a word in edgewise?
What?
I'm doing my thing where I won't shut the fuck up. And,
No.
But this is interesting. This is all cool.
This is great. But yeah, you guys first met Ryan on the first season, or not even? 'Cause you didn't even met him.
Ryan Dunn was actually like watching him. He was by far my favorite of all those guys from Pennsylvania. Like,
I
thought
think
he was so
Deco.
funny.
I think
Deco too, but Deco never really came out in Jackass like strong.
Right.
Deco was amazing in CKY, but like on Jackass, I just liked Ryan's like personality. Like first thing I ever saw him was that backwoods crap, and I was like,
I mean, dude, how insane is it that Ryan Dunn was okay with being called Random Hero? Can you imagine, like, if someone tried to give me the name Random Hero? How fucking incensed I would be. I'd be like, no, like, you know.
He likes
like,
the name Random Hero.
Like, yeah, he was just he had no ego.
no
is what I'm
ego
saying,
at all.
you know,
He was
like,
amazing. He had a great vibe. Like
You have no ego, too. Like,
try not to like. Yeah, I think. Hopefully, I don't.
yeah, and it's wildly impressive. That's one thing I gleaned from listening back to
Lack of ego, though. Like, oh, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, it's
Lack
fine.
of ego also can kind of. I think it's hurt me because to be like an entertainer or someone that's like being famous, like you need some sort of ego to a point. You know, like for the sake of your career, like You got to believe in yourself. Like, I mean, and which is different than having a big ego, but, you know, a lack of ego can also hurt you. Like,
I see how that works, and you know, like what I was gonna say is, listening back to our first podcast together, you really like eloquently articulated that you're not, you know, like you came into the entertainment industry, but that you never really identified with like the whole show business, kind of a Hollywood thing, and you know, you feel like you still don't identify that way, and you know, it's just not what makes you tick, and I think that from a career perspective, it does work against you if you're not.
It would help if I was a little more like
shameless self-promoter, egomaniac.
Because it would help, you know, to a point, you know, because I mean everyone, like rock stars, actors, they are like, you know, they have egos to a point. Like, it would help, because I was just never like, I want to be famous. I want to be famous, and then I just became famous, like, and
but I think it does work against you to a degree, but at the same time, like, you're this special, like, unicorn kind of, you know, like whenever you pop up, it's like it's more something fucking.
Well, that's
dope.
a nice thing to say. That's rad. Thank you. Like, I think to be like, you got to look at me to a point, you know, like, and so I'm trying to be better about it too. Like, but like, and also, like, on Jackass, we all have our role, you know. I think a good thing about Jackass is like the variety of people that we happen to just land with, like how it, you know, it was never meant to be like a little person, a big guy, and etc. But it just happened to be that way. But like, as like Jackass went on, everyone kind of knows where they fit in, and what we know, like, where someone's strengths are. And I think
now, when you say that, you know, you're gonna work on being more like sort of an attention seeker. Well, that's how I'm hearing it. And I like that, because I've been trying to encourage you to get into creating content and, you know, running a YouTube channel, putting up videos. Like, I really think that is the way to the future.
And it's so creative too.
I mean, dude, you are so creative, and when I just think of like a Chris Pontius YouTube channel, and like how fucking genius and just wonderful your videos will be.
Well, at Big Brother, you were my favorite writer.
Oh, thanks.
You know, and that's
that's rad. And I love writing, but it's like, you know, anything that you do creatively, it's all like filming, like doing music, writing. It's all the same thing. It's just like the palette that you're doing it on. But yeah, I think everybody, I'm gonna have my YouTube thing soon, and me and Steve are gonna film one very soon. Hopefully, not long after you see this.
Yeah,
I promise.
Maybe Steve can break a bottle
We already
on
have
your
the
head.
theme of it. Steve made it up.
Is it live? Can people go subscribe?
It's not live yet. Oh, was it live now?
It's been
Live.
Dude, if you type in youtube.com/Chris Pontius,
You can subscribe.
it's gonna have a Chris Pontius band. Like it was taken. That URL was taken by like some random, but they were inactive with it. So I reached out to my guy at YouTube, and I was like, "Hey, here's this inactive fucking thing. Let's swipe it from them." And so we took it over, and I was like, "Chris, dude, I got a present for you." And I showed him. I made him a banner. Paul made him a banner, and we got to hurry up before that gets swiped for inactivity.
I promise we'll have that out. We're gonna film it very soon.
Yeah,
That'd be sick. You
Steve
could even
set up the YouTube thing and everything. So
I'm like, Chris, here's
I gotta do it.
I'm like, Chris, here's your YouTube password, login info. Like, it's ready to go. And and dude, like, I've been so pushy and trying to be like, Chris, it's all about content. You gotta always do it. But it's just a question, I think, of us getting together and fucking just banging it out. You know?
I promise to you, and I promise to everyone, though, I do need to do that. And you're right, it is the future, doing these things, and stuff has changed from like making TV shows, and like it definitely has changed. And I've like, you know, I've been talking to this person, that person about like making this TV show and that. And
dude, fuck that, dude. It's banging your head against the wall trying to sell a TV show these days.
I think even the worthwhileness of it, like even like monetarily, it's
the television is just a fucking.
Was your first YouTube video him breaking a bottle over your head?
I put up 2 at the same time on the same day. One was my fake used condom prank, and the other one was Pontius breaking the bottle on my head.
Maybe you could break the bottle on his head for his
Nah,
first
we don't need
video.
to do that. Pontius is so... Pontius doesn't need to resort to self-harm the way I do.
I was thinking, I've never had a bottle broken over my head.
Break it
don't
over
need
in
it.
your own head.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you need that.
I did get together with Jeff yesterday or the day before to work on Shark Week. And
okay.
We had we done Shark Week when the last time we talked?
No.
Like, all
Dude,
this
it was
has
like
happened.
the last podcast we did was episode 29, which was just crazy.
It was like a year ago.
Dude, way more, dude. It was in that like the fucking white hot fucking peak of the lockdown, like the initial.
Yeah, it was.
81 weeks ago.
So
No.
So we did the first Shark Week special, and Poopies got bit. It went great. It was amazing. But I think we've universally agreed, like, not to push it with sharks anymore. So
Right.
we're trying to write ideas that are like, we got to follow up on everything with Poopies and like.
Dude, we had Poopies on the podcast, and
What a sweetheart.
it was. I was a jerk to him. Like I said to Paul, I was like, I started the Poopies podcast, and I'm like, so your thing is that you're dumb,
Right.
And
No, but you were like, so you're like really dumb, huh?
yeah. I'm like, so you're really dumb, I don't think that there was like. I wasn't trying to be mean. I didn't have meanness in my heart, but it came off like pretty shitty.
So you're broke and dumb, right?
We did this Twitter watch party. I don't think you were involved with it, but it was like a week ago or something. And Aaron was on there, and he took some comments that I made as offensive, and I didn't mean them in as offensive ways. But he got really mad, and apparently, like, he left. Like the Twitter feed, and Dave was on the phone with him.
Dude, I'm glad that you brought this up, because as I drove over here, it occurred to me as something I wanted to bring up. I think that the extent to which Danger Aaron has been bullied, particularly when it's off camera and like there's not really any good reason for it, it's just like, I wish that I could spearhead a movement, or not, but I just wish that Danger would not be bullied so much.
I wish he wouldn't also, but it's that said, like, I think the fault is like having him in the position where he can, like, when he just talks for the sake of talking. Like, I know my role on Jackass, is to, like, a big part of what I do is like saying funny stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so when we're filming, and like I know I'm standing there like ready to like say funny stuff and help improve bits, he's just jumping in front of me yelling crap that it's not worth hearing. That's why he makes me so mad. And it's like, you're all right, I don't jump in front of you while you're getting like, in the middle of the cup test and like say, look at me, like, so that's basically what you're doing, like, in you're hurting the movie, and you're hurting what, like, my participation in it, and that's why it pisses me off, and it really pisses me off.
It does. It does. Now let me tell you this. I remember when they were assigning the way that we would be broken up for the press junket for Jackass Forever, and I got an email that said, it's you and Pontius and Danger Aaron. And I wrote back immediately. I said, hey, I really don't think it's a good idea to sit Pontius and Danger Aaron together for hours and hours of interviews. Like, it's just not going to end well.
No.
Because I knew from having spent time with Danger and you guys separately, I knew that Danger Aaron was at a breaking point, and I knew that you were like, they're like both of you guys.
And I was ready to break someone.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
Or him in particular.
Yeah, for sure. And I like, it breaks my heart, because while there is absolute validity to what you're saying, like, I just know, I'm not even gonna say who's right or who's wrong. I'm just gonna acknowledge that he's at a breaking point.
Oh yeah, no, and I don't like making Aaron. I don't like to like make him feel bad. And I love Aaron, and we talk all the time actually. Like,
good.
It's when we're filming that he makes me mad. Like,
right.
But Aaron's rad, and it's really just a matter of not having him in the position to be doing that. Really, like.
Right. I brought it up with Danger, talking about him being bullied.
Really? And what's he
It was
say?
a clip on our channel.
Yeah, it was a clip on a channel that did really well.
It did really well.
You know, I mean,
Strong clip.
I'm down for participating in everything that's on camera and that like makes sense and that, but it's just like when it's off camera, like I've never bullied Danger.
Yeah.
Like off camera, I don't think.
I don't feel I bully him off camera. I feel, I mean, if anything, it's like I mean, it's whenever he steps on me talking or interrupts me or talks over me, and it's so frustrating. And it, so I mean, it hurts
It's so
me.
funny.
In a way.
Like this is like Chris expressing how I feel when I'm doing my comedy show and people are yelling shit out during my act.
That's a good topic.
Drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah. So yeah. Does that happen a lot? Like when you have to deal with a heckler?
Dude,
Every show.
I got into therapy for it. I literally fucking went on BetterHelp and got fucking therapy because I can't. I fucking can't handle it.
Really?
It's
You
so
already
gnarly.
talked about it in therapy?
Yeah, dude. I've had numerous sessions.
Did they get to the root of it?
I mean, it's just like I mean, basically, it was like I had to do inventory on it. You know.
Well, that's and the thing of part of being a comedian is how good you are dealing with
Yeah.
hecklers. I actually kind of like hecklers to a point. Like,
Well, I mean, the word heckler conjures up notions of wittiness and like challenging the comedian.
Yeah.
But the reality of heckling is just it's fucking drunk shitheads that are just yelling out with bad timing. So they stomp on your joke. They fucking ruin your joke. It's everything that you're describing about Danger Aaron.
Yeah, but doing that during your show, yeah, that's not like a heckler in the sense that like your stereotypical sense of it, like just challenging the comedian to a
Right.
joke contest. Yeah, they really are messing up your show.
Right.
I had a guy actually do that to me at a show a while back, and what I did, like, you can't always do this. I invited him up on stage, and then
Choked him out.
No, I didn't. I didn't choke him out. He was a really aggressive, really drunk heckler. And I invited him up on stage, and I put him like in the corner, like he was gonna do something, and then I just like forgot about him, and I went back to my show. So he stood there like awkwardly for like 10 minutes, like looking around, like thinking he was gonna get called, and then he was like, "Oh," and he just like walked off.
Wow, that's smart.
I didn't mean it to be smart either. It just happened. Like I just put him in the corner,
Right.
But then he didn't know what to do because he all of a sudden was on stage, but not being asked to do anything.
Right.
Like,
wow, that's pretty
I put him
funny.
in an awkward situation.
Right.
I want to ask you two questions. The one would be, do you have a favorite Jackass bit that you've done of all time? And then do you have a favorite Jackass bit for forever?
I'm going to answer for Chris, and his favorite bit that he's done of all time is the opening of the new movie.
I'm pretty stoked on the opening of the new movie.
Wow. I'm
is
sure that's
amazing.
been asked a lot in the press junkets, but I was just,
I mean, if you think about it, like the box office performance of Jackass Forever, while it was successful, it was #1, like still it got fucked by COVID. So as we're saying this, there's probably a great number of people who have not seen Jackass Forever, even though it's now available for home, like you can get it on iTunes and, home video. And when you get the digital home video version, it comes with like 40 minutes of extra shit, which is all awesome shit too. But there's just a lot of people that haven't seen the grand opening sequence of Jackass Forever, and it's fucking awesome.
You want to give them a little breakdown of what it is?
your little taste.
Oh, all right. So
Pull your pants
I
down.
will, without spoiling it for anyone.
I mean, you can.
I'll just do it best I can.
I don't
without
think that you can
spoiling like
spoil
what
it.
happens in it. My penis is in a monster costume, and it's dressed up like a monster. So I actually have some things I want to actually talk about the experience of filming.
For sure.
This.
I mean,
So-
dude, I remember on the set,
Hair
you're
and
in the
makeup?
middle. You're in the middle of this big miniature set.
Pubic makeup.
Like this big miniature set. You're underneath, and there's just all this fucking machinery, and your dick got like fucking caught in like
gnarly.
some cog of machinery. It was the gnarliest.
What
Like-
machine?
So
Dude, it was. They had the like Oscar award winning fucking best
Gnarly.
puppeteer team.
the guys that did the puppeteering from like Ghostbusters and like the top like demolitions people
to put
and then
makeup
I'm on
on
this
your dick?
cart that is
No,
like
they had fucking they were puppeteering. His dick was a puppet.
yeah, and they couldn't figure out how to attach it. They couldn't figure out how to attach my dick to the thing to puppet it off to make it stand up that way. And crazily enough, my wife actually came up with the apparatus. Like you can
Yeah.
even notice like at the beginning, like it's like standing up. It's just kind of weird. You can tell someone's pulling it, and then later on, it's like held up really good. And she came up with like this like weird thing that we got from a wilderness store, and like it ended up being the perfect thing. And
Dude,
I wish we had it the whole time.
May saved the day big time.
How long?
Here's the thing: like his penis gets painted green, like to be like this fucking dinosaur monster. You know, anything except Godzilla.
A kaiju, as they call them in Japan.
So they've got this fucking miniature city for like the miniature shots. They had the whole Paramount lot, which is New York City, and they had fucking huge cranes throwing fucking cars, explosions, everything. Like it was a $3 million
It's
fucking
gnarly.
shoot.
And there's a slot like that my penis and my balls are going through, and I'm under the table, and there's like a rig that it's like on wheels or something that like it enables me to travel under the table. So like when it's too tight, like it gets caught, like your balls get caught or whatever. It's gnarly. But the thing that I have some thoughts to share about my whole experience. I've never even mentioned. So the first thing we did for preparing for this bit, like it was first going to be a bit, and then it ended up, and we had a way scaled down version of it. But then when we started to film it, they're like, oh, this is too funny. We got to make this the opener. But anyway, so I meet with like this makeup artist guy. We're in this like room basically together, and like he's got to paint my dick in all this and put all these like scales on the backbone on my dick and all these things. And it's so awkward. Like you always think in the back of your mind, what if like I accidentally got a boner, you know? And it would create this really awkward situation because my dick's literally in this guy's hands. And like, you know, just by not wanting to get a boner so bad, what if it made me get a boner?
Did you get a boner?
You know how that happens when you're in class?
Don't think of a pink elephant.
Yeah, no, I didn't get a boner. And not even close. I was fine. But then but there's always that fear, you know, and when you're doing it, like, so, you know, you get talking and try to just ignore the fact that this dude's holding your dick and
Small
like
talk.
painting it and putting like little eyes on your dick and like, but the awkwardness of if I accidentally did get a boner, like,
did he have nice hands?
No, not that I remember.
Did he have a gentle touch?
Did he tickle a little bit?
No, but
How'd the brush feel?
it felt fine. The thing was like after when my wife later on like came in to help me clean it up with some oil because like I don't want him to have to be the one scrubbing it. Then when she was doing it, I almost got a boner, and it was almost embarrassing for me to get the boner in front of, even though he wasn't the one scrubbing my wiener. Like it still would have been awkward. Like, sure. But I stopped myself from getting a full boner. But still, like, you know, like heavy with blood, like really heavy with blood. But like, so, but anyway, like while filming the bit, I actually, like, is trying to be professional, like, is the monsters is like, you know, like getting more and more excited going through town, like destroying the stuff. I did think in my head, like, to try to get, if you watch the intro, you'll notice the monster does like get more and more excited. Yeah. I did do that purposely. Like I try to I get myself right on the edge of like a little more excited, like make the monster a little bigger, control the blood, like push a little more and more blood into him to make the monster more excited without getting a boner. Because if he gets a boner, then number one, it's awkward.
Number two, it's NC-17.
It makes it changes the whole rating of the movie.
If you get a boner, it's NC-17?
Yeah, you can't R rating doesn't work for a hard dick. But dude, like,
you know that perfect place you are, like right after you come?
For sure.
Like that, where you're not hard, but like your dick said it's absolute best looking. You aim for that. You're never gonna get there because it's too close to a boner. But that's what you're aiming for.
That's a lot of pressure for your dick, dude.
It is. It's a mental game.
Yeah.
The opening sequence was the last thing we filmed, right?
Oh, really?
The last thing and the very last thing with the turtle biting his dick and Knoxville saying, "I'm Johnny Knoxville, welcome to Jackass," was like the actual last shot.
That's cool.
And we were like way over hours. It was like fucking midnight.
Yeah.
Everyone was so like this opening sequence. We never even got a crew photo. You know, like on the 3D
Seriously,
movie, like they had the whole crew in front of that big rainbow. Mm-hmm. There was no crew photo. Everything went over. We were already into extra days, and they had committed to this $3 million budget.
Like
for
it
the
can't
opening.
go wrong. Like,
And they had no fucking idea if it was even gonna work.
and the fact that they didn't know how to attach the wiener.
Work what, like on camera?
They
Like,
didn't know that, like, whatever you did on the day when it was just supposed to be a bit, you didn't get too deep into the fucking logistics of it because they had no fucking idea if the whole bit was gonna work, and they were committed to $3 million.
Yeah,
bucks.
because of the COVID situation, like all the like different professionals involved hadn't gotten together to have a proper powwow. So the puppeteers hadn't talked to like the set designers, and to make this whole thing work, like it wasn't really figured out. So anyway, my balls are the feet of this monster, right?
Right.
So they didn't know, they couldn't make my balls sit on top of the table. So Johnny Knoxville actually had to volunteer. But bravely volunteered himself to like, he crawled under the table into this tiny space to physically with his hand hold my balls up there, so it could be the feet, like, which is so rad that we're
Yeah.
wow.
I mean,
You know,
it's just, that's a bro.
it is a bro.
is
You
a
know,
bro.
to forget about like anything like that and just realize it's just skin, and like
Yep.
to do that to make it work, because that's the only way my balls were gonna like. And
Right, well, they actually had little baby feet that were that were like mechanically supposed to push your balls up,
Yeah.
but the feet didn't work.
Yeah,
like
so-
much about it didn't fucking work,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh my god,
and they
like,
hadn't really figured it out. Like
they didn't know if they hadn't figured out shit.
Yeah, which
and,
is frustrating as
And
hell.
they didn't know, like they didn't know what they were doing, and they were
Yeah.
millions of dollars committed to
Wow.
Yeah,
It came out epic.
It worked. It worked out beautifully. But it was crazy. Like it was such a gnarly set, and like Spike just ran that like.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't know if it was gonna work, and I'm in the most uncomfortable position also.
Dude, for
For how
so
long?
dude, hours and
hours and hours,
standing
and
up.
days and days.
Yeah,
like,
hours.
Like 3
Get a
days
boner.
of the weirdest,
Like it had to have been like fucking 6 hours on multiple days.
and you're like squashed in this like a pancake in there with your back all arched and
in
your
the
dick
most
out.
fucked up position.
most fucked up
In
position.
order to get his dick positioned the way it needed to be, his body was in the most awkward fucking state.
Yeah. So they had to like elevate me into this position, and I'm like arched, so the highest part of me is my dick.
And like all the machinery that was fucking pushing him back and forth and like making it all work, like fucking.
It's crazy.
It was like heavy machinery that his dick was fucking like.
You have to like go into this zen place while filming
Yeah.
it. But you know what? Like if they did, if they offered to make a movie about
Right.
Pontiusaurus, I'd be the first one to
Wow.
want to do it, because
Yeah, an animated.
Maybe like a little like a TV
I just
show,
thought it was so funny, and
kids show.
So, dude, you just put out these Pontiusaurus skateboards, and it makes me so curious about like where the rights for the. I mean, in that case, the skateboard, the person who drew the
Which is
Pontiusaurus,
Sean Cliver.
right? So of course Sean Cliver owns the rights to that drawing. But is there a bigger is there a copyright to the idea of Pontiusaurus?
Well, what
Yeah.
about Sarko shirts?
Yeah.
What about that?
You mean this shirt that I'm wearing, which is available at chrispontius.com?
Yeah. Yeah. What about that shirt, Steve?
I mean, it is such high quality.
I love it.
The
I
cotton.
love that shirt. That's one of my favorite bits that we ever filmed.
Yeah.
But how's that with the copyright? With
This
all
one
that?
was from a picture that Tremaine took, and Tremaine gave us his blessing.
Yeah, he doesn't care. So Pontiusaurus, I'm gonna make you saw the promo squeeze toys.
Right.
We're gonna make our own, and they're not gonna be exact copies of that one.
Right.
But like, I think it's my dick dressed up as a monster. Like,
Right.
how much can you copyright it? Like,
Right.
Well, what you can do is you can clone a
Shane.
Willy, and then
Yeah.
you can paint that green. I had something
Yeah.
come over to put Steve's dick in because I wanted to sell like
Oh, like a mold?
like autographed
Yeah.
Steve's dick.
did
like,
you mold your dick?
Well,
It's a longer story, but
wait, we still have the mold, and
Not that
it's my
long.
gift to you.
you can clone your dick and just paint it green and go to like a dildo company and sell replicas of your.
I don't think.
I am gonna make Pontiusaurus dolls.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for sure. Because
Yeah,
people reach out like every day are asking for them. So
Right.
if they want them, like we're in the process of getting them made right now.
Good. And there
Stress
should be
relief.
like
Yeah, for
there's-
stress relief.
Yeah, there should be like more Pontiusaurus merch. I
Yeah.
believe.
So the Pontiusaurus dolls are literally in the works right now.
I can set you up.
So
with,
many people have wanted them.
Yeah, I'll set you up with my secret weapon, my graphic designer. I'll even drop his name right here, Mike Hillier.
Nice.
This fucking guy is
Really?
epic.
Awesome. That's good.
He did the Johnny O boards.
Wow.
He's done.
He did my bees board.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a crazy illustrator, and he happens
that's
to be
rad.
Really
a relative
rad.
of mine.
Wow. Yeah, I'd love to talk to him.
Yeah.
It's my dick dressed up as a monster. Like, yeah. So we're definitely, and people are like begging for them. Like, where can I get one? Like, so like.
Well,
Right.
I mean, your boards fucking flew.
The boards sold. I mean, granted, I didn't have as many as I would have liked to have had, but
there are more on the way.
so Sean Cliver drew it for his company Strangelove, and he sold out. Like, he put them up like a week before, and he sold out. Like, I think the first day. I don't know how fast, but ours sold out in 30 seconds. Or something like 30 seconds. May and I were watching on the Shopify thing or whatever, or on the site to see like how fast they'd go, and it was like a minute goes by and she's like, they're gone. Like, what? Like, and like people were like, how did it, like, I had it in my cart ready to go, and it was just a matter of,
Right.
I don't know, like, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you that you need to be following Chris Pontius on Instagram. Otherwise, you're never going to even have a chance.
I was just, God, I was so bummed that not everyone could get one. So yeah, they're going to be out soon more, and
Yep.
I think we're going to have to do a third pressing too, like, because I mean, I know that there's going to be like X amount available, but I know that we're going to need more.
I think change it up. I think
change it up and do your own artwork so you can keep more profits, because then you own your own.
We're going to do
shit.
another board.
Yeah.
We're definitely making another board because.
Yep.
And then without getting too much into my deal with Sean, but
what make another board as an apology for this one.
yeah, I do love the board. Like, I love the shape.
It's great.
It is a little wide. I know, even with shipping, like it's wider than the boxes.
Did you choose that board style because that's what you used to ride, or that's what
I
was
didn't
available?
choose that shape. Like Sean or his partner at Strangelove might have.
It's like a
brought that
classic
shape
Nash shape.
It's I love
I don't
the
know
shape.
about
Yeah.
a Nash
It's a
shape.
real like late '80s.
It's not of the old school or of the new school, but of a distinct middle school.
It's a whole middle school shape.
Middle school, yeah.
That's what I always consider you a middle school skater.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
it's kind of like H Street Video era.
Yeah,
like, you are
dude.
such a middle school skater. Like,
Yeah, like right when Blind came out.
yeah, which was such an important era in skating.
Yeah, it was.
Like doing like tricks like stationary on curbs.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure, is middle school, like, is that term like commonly known with the current? I know, like, now with skaters, like, there's like people like being like 90s skaters with like little wheels, like in baggy
Right.
pants. Like, they're like, I'm gonna be a 90s skater. I'm gonna be like a 70s skater.
Well, when the term new school came out, it was like distinctly when the wheels were so small and the pants were so baggy.
Yeah.
Like, that's what new school means. So,
Oh, yeah.
So the middle school would absolutely be the shape of the Pontius
Yeah,
board.
which I love that shape, but yeah, we're definitely doing a different board too as well, just for the sake of being able to put out as many as we want. Not like cutting into Strangelove sales.
How many subscribers does the YouTube channel have? Just up there live.
I
have no
I
idea.
don't know.
Because maybe if it gets to 1,000 subscribers, you'll do a video.
I mean, dude, we just have to open our
we
calendars.
just gotta, like, we have to,
gotta
like,
open
film
our
it.
calendars, and we gotta make a date to get together. And at that point, it's not about
Let's
whether
officially make a date. Like, we'll make it
right.
after we do this. We'll make one.
Yeah, I leave town for a little leg tomorrow, but right when we get back, dude, it's on.
Where are you
Yeah.
going,
Thank
Steve?
you so-
You going out on tour?
Oh yeah, that's right. I'll be going to Louisville, Kentucky, and Memphis, Tennessee, and Rutland, Virginia, Charlestown, West Virginia, fucking
Portland, Maine.
Portland, Maine. It's going to be quite an exciting run.
I have a question about your comedy tours. Is there an area that really is, when comedians like are always like, oh, I love playing here and so on, which you do, like, but is there an area which really is like the funnest area to do
Europe.
comedy shows?
I'm not going to say that.
In the States,
I
at least?
mean, I think that, like, I enjoy, and I enjoy a more sophisticated crowd that's not gonna be disruptive.
Yeah.
And like, there's types of places where
The Wilbur in Boston.
That dude, super sophisticated crowd, and like, perfect.
I definitely noticed that too. Like
I think because the theater sets the mood too, though. Like,
right.
It does.
Elegance.
That's definitely true. Like I did a show with some of the Jackass guys, and I couldn't even hear myself talking. It was just this gnarly, drunk, belligerent crowd. Like,
right.
And I was standing there, I kind of didn't know what to do. Like,
right.
And Wee Man was so rad. Like, he's good at handling hecklers. Like, some guy comes up with like aggressive, like, and yelling stuff while he's trying to talk. Wee Man's like, let me see your phone, dude. And the guy hands him his phone. Wee Man just hucks the phone into the crowd. Like, I was like, whoa, you're aggro. Like, that's a good way to handle him too. I mean, I couldn't do it, but the guy was interrupting the show and being rude.
Yep.
And Jason really put him in his place.
And I don't
I'll tell you what, he didn't
shit.
do it again.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, because he couldn't
You
find
know
his phone.
what was also crazy about that same show? I think that was the show where I put the guy in the corner. That same show. So, Dave England felt that Aaron was talking for too long, and so he yanked Aaron off like with a cane, like off the stage, like Gong Show style.
Preston told me about that.
Oh
on
God!
tour.
So Aaron was mad about it already, and I guess like the night before, Dave hadn't been out in public, like away from his family in a while, and he was a little too excited. Dave was like being crazy on stage, like trying to pee on like Aaron or everybody else.
This is the punch.
Oh yeah, so yeah, have we talked about that?
Well,
before?
I had it live on air.
Oh, you did?
After the show.
After the show, like during the meet and greet, everyone's like getting their merch signed and everything, and Aaron's actually on the other side of the merch table and just steaming.
Yeah, he reached a breaking point.
Yeah, he reached, and Dave's there like saying Dave kept bumping into the table, and May and him and Aaron were on their side of the table like selling merch, and he just kept bumping Aaron's merch, and Aaron's getting mad. He keeps bumping my merch, and then finally he just slugs haymaker Dave, and Dave freaks out and starts like throwing Dave's weird rabbit. Dave has a weird style of punching, like these weird like rabbit punches, like and like went all aggro, and like security like had to pull him apart, and like
and that's on camera.
It's on camera. Dimitri has the footage.
We're still waiting for Dimitri to unearth this footage.
Oh. Yeah,
that should be your first YouTube video. Is
I know.
the highlights of that tour.
talking about that.
I know. Like we have so much that.
Who won
And
the
then
fight?
Wee Man
It got
merch
separated
stolen, right?
immediately. So, I mean, Dave's punches when they were.
They will add up.
Yeah, they will add up. Yeah, he's a volume striker. He actually knocked the table upside down and like went for him, and the security like felt so awkward because they were like also fans, but they had to separate these guys, and like so like we took him outside and like cooled it down, and then like 5 minutes later, like Aaron's like trying to like apologized, and he's like you got to put some ice on it, Dave. Like they say like that takes like 80% of the swelling off. Or the first like 10 minutes is the most important time to ice it. And like they're like hanging out together as bros. Like he got off his chest, and like, but like at the time, and Aaron had his big like.
That's
like,
a story that needs to.
on.
That's a story that needs to unfold.
It does.
At youtube.com/Chris Pontius. And there's nothing stopping. You make a point, Scott. There's nothing fucking stopping. Like everybody listening to this podcast from typing in youtube.com/Chris Pontius and subscribing so that they can and hit the bell. So
Jackass
ready.
Meet and greet fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that it should just be like the untold story of the Jackass tour of 2015 or whatever.
If Dimitri would only like get that footage available,
Yeah.
I'll give him a call. Like, he's got to have great stuff.
I mean, dude, tell him that if he doesn't unearth that footage and produce it and hand it over, that you will be going through your drawer looking for the right singlet to confront him in.
And I wonder how many singlets I have left. I definitely have 2. I've got my like lava camo singlet. It's crazy how the singlet flatters the male form.
Yeah, and dude, there's only one singlet for the job, and it's called Captain America.
Wait, did we ever get favorite Jackass bit of all time?
Favorite Jackass bit of all time.
Real quick
we had
before
a
we
good
go.
conversation going there though.
Yeah.
How we got
absolutely.
sidetracked. Good sidetracking. Like favorite Jackass bit of all time. It changes for me all the time. Like I was really like right when you asked me that, I was like, oh, I love the puppet show for the snake because I love that bit because it was the first thing that we filmed when we started Jackass 2,
and that started
to get everyone like
everything
amped up to like, and a lot of the guys hadn't seen each other for a long time.
Yeah.
So like that was like to like kind of break the ice. So right now today, that's my favorite bit. But like it changes for me all the time. But yeah.
I like taxidermy.
Taxidermy was amazing.
I mean, it's just that's one that just doesn't fit in like a lane. It's just this outlier,
it's amazing.
you know, of like just a really fucking weird deal.
That's where Knoxville takes his quote unquote grandma
Yeah,
to
and
get her
she
stuff.
doesn't have much left. She doesn't have much time left, and so we're trying to find someone to stuff and mount her.
Yeah.
So awesome.
It's brilliant.
Ridiculous.
I guess like they had to go to a few different taxidermy
And they got
people.
a quote. They got a quote. Yeah, they're like, I don't know if that's legal, but we'd do it for $20,000.
Yeah.
That's great. Wait, then both of you guys, one last thing. Then, do you have a favorite Wild Boys bit?
Well,
I don't know why the Agories just popped into my mind, but
Agories was pretty amazing.
yeah.
Like, God, like, you know, we tried to film with the Agories. I don't know if people know that we tried to film with them
Number
again.
2.
And like the other guys were just way too like worked up.
The Wild Boys, it proved that Wild Boys were far more tolerant, loving, and patient than the total sum of the Jackass cast.
Yeah, the Agories were like they. God, they were.
Are they
gnarly.
the cannibals or something? Or
Yeah, they're
they're
these
like-
cannibal dudes. Like we got great footage with them with the Wild Boys.
The Wild Boys love and accept everybody.
Right.
Like, and they're going there to like just explore cultures, not force their culture on others.
Right.
So whatever everyone's doing, they go along with it. So
Right.
when we met the Agories, like they're like, everybody naked. Black Boom Boom Baba just told us to get naked. So we got naked,
Yeah.
and he starts putting this white stuff on us, and he's like, burning body ashes. And we're like, oh,
Yeah.
dead body ashes.
Dead
from
body burning ashes. And like
Wow.
So he's putting like ashes all over our bodies, and we're rubbing on ourselves, and he just took the liberty of rubbing all over my balls and my wiener.
Yep.
Like I didn't know Black Boom Boom Baba for 10 seconds before he did that.
Yep. And the Wild Boys are okay with that because we're becoming cultured.
Exactly.
I have a question for you guys, and I don't know if this goes off topic. With Wild Boys made me think of sharks and all that. When you guys went to South Africa, were you afraid of like getting attacked by sharks the whole time?
It's all we talked about.
I was
Yeah,
because in Johannesburg. Well, no,
Jeffreys
not
Bay.
in Jeffreys Bay, where all these cunts were fucking. No, there's only 3 of us in the water, or like 4 of us,
Yeah.
and then it was a weird, current, and that was where McFanning got bit by
Yeah.
Yeah,
sharks.
South Africa's just full of sharks and cunts.
No,
we talked
I was
about
out there.
was sharks.
I was out there surfing, and
You were in
then-
the lineup.
and then 2 people caught a wave, and I was by myself, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And you can't
Yeah.
see anywhere below, and I just paddled in.
Yeah, the second those 2 cunts were
Yeah.
All right, dude. I think we gotta fucking call it, man.
You think we got enough?
I think
Oh,
we
for
got
sure.
plenty, dude.
Awesome.
I
Yeah.
think we got plenty. I think I talked a lot, and you know what? I'm not gonna beat myself up.
You
I
did
think
great. This was
I think all the
conversational.
behind the scenes Pontius Source stuff was really good, actually, because I've never talked about that. Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah, we got it. It was fucking epic.
thanks for
And-
having me to Wild Ride 2.
Yeah, the return.
The
of Chris
return.
Pontius.
I can't wait for us to film my first YouTube video.
I mean,
that's
dude.
coming soon.
No pressure, dude. We're gonna fucking lock a date in the calendar. We're gonna fucking
No
make
pressure. April 27th, we have a launch date for your website.
I don't know what else to say. I'm going to be a YouTube superstar.
You are, dude.
You could be.
You already are. And everything that we've built up, like with
Yeah.
our own audience, we're just gonna like my whole audience is clamoring for your channel. So
right.
you're just gonna get like all of my audience.
I need
that.
to put more of myself into this world.
I love it. I love it, dude. Let's do it. All right.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes. Thank you for being here. Good night,
Love
everybody.
you too.
Yeah, dude. I'd say, as promised, that was distinctly juicier than the first Pontius episode. And, dude, not only am I in Graceland and doing a show in Memphis, I'm actually headlining the Soundstage Theater of Graceland. It's insane. I mean, dude, I walked over there today. It's just Elvis everywhere. It's just like, and my name's on the marquee. I'm so stoked. As always, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the podcast. Maybe shoot Pontius a post, like a screenshot, like I always used to ask, and let him know how fantastic that was. Maybe let him know that you would love for him to actually get off his ass and make a YouTube channel. I've been hounding him to the point where I feel bad. And I think we're getting him close to actually making videos. But in any case, enough from me. Thank you. I love you all. Yeah, dude.